Going live. All right. And we should be recording as well. So when we're done, I will send you that. So we are
Sounds
live though, Susie.
good.
How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. And I was going to take us down one path of conversation tonight, but I want to start because and I don't mean to upset you about this, but I want to talk about your Christmas tree.
You saw it?
I
Did you
did.
see
I
my
saw
little
your post
video?
about your Christmas tree, and it was the coolest thing. And so I really, if you're up to it, I would love to talk about your Christmas tree.
Absolutely. That makes me happy. It does not upset me. So I haven't set up a Christmas tree for years. I was so depressed and in a bad place and with someone that made me even more depressed. And this was the first year in about 6 years that I actually have a baby Christmas tree.
It's so cool.
And I have a lot of people in my life that have like become family who
Yep.
aren't family, and one of them dropped it off the other night, Dustin. So I went to the dollar store today and got decorations, and Walmart and got pink lights, and it's beautiful.
That's so cool.
I can't carry if anyone is on Facebook, they can check it out because my picture's
Yes.
up there, a little video. Yeah, I've been sharing a lot of little memories from my past holidays with my family on
Yep.
my Instagram, on my Facebook page, Suzie with a Z podcast show, or Suzie Cosbin is Facebook. So if anyone wants to go check those out, it's where you can find them.
So since we're talking Christmas, let's stay on the theme of Christmas. How do you perceive Christmas this year to be?
This year is the first year in my entire life that I've lived alone.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm 55. I was married very young, and growing up, for the most part, my very, very young memories, I have a couple bad memories of holidays with my biological parents. But other than that, holidays were always wonderful. Always. My grandparents were just wonderful. So,
And
yeah,
you were
this
the
year,
doer, right? You were like the
well,
preparer, and you were the gift wrapper, and you were the gift shopper, and you did everything.
I learned from my grandmother. My
Yeah.
grandmother and my aunt, my whole family. Like, we never had fights or arguments or stressful holidays growing up.
No.
Never.
Yep.
Did you? I don't know. Did you?
No. Oh my God. No. I always look forward to the holidays, and so it wasn't until I got married. So I'm Jewish. My only wife was Catholic. And so we had to learn, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later, is blended families, right? And it's not blended from different marriages, but in my case, it was blended from different religions. So now you're dealing with Hanukkah and you're dealing with Christmas, and how much decoration do you do? Like I would say to my family, you can decorate the whole house inside, but I'm not hanging a light outside. That's not
Right.
my thing. I'm not hanging, it's not going to happen. And we were fine with that, but we always had the tree, and around the fireplace was always decorated. And the boys just learned that there's two holidays, and we celebrate them different. So we light Hanukkah candles, and we do the whole Christmas thing and Christmas. So it worked out really well. And I think it's important because they learned two different cultures, and they learned two different religions and all the meaning behind it. So for me, it worked out well. Even today, we still do both, right? So not a lot of the decorating, but Sandra, does the Christmas thing. So we go to her mom's for Christmas Eve and then Christmas Day, but the boys come over after they're with their mom. So it's new traditions, but it's not
Awesome.
like we stopped anything. We just do it differently.
Right. And the boys still celebrate both holidays.
They do, yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
great.
I think it's next Friday and Saturday, I think, or Thursday and Friday is Hanukkah. So we'll have that with my sister and my mom. And then Christmas, Sandra's son's coming in with his girlfriend, and we'll do the whole thing on Christmas. So I think it's really important. And again, the boys will spend Christmas Eve and most of Christmas Day with their mom. And then they'll come over and have spend time at Sandra's mom. So we try to mix and match as much as we can, because I want them to, I want them to enjoy the holiday. I don't want them to be stressed over it, like, oh my God, where are we going? What
Right.
am I going to do? What are we going to do for Christmas? And it's always spend it with your mom, and then spend Hanukkah with us, and make sure your mom is fully engaged. I don't think she does a tree anymore, but I think she does some decorating. So I think for her it is a little different, but we try to keep it as normal, I guess, as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good that you at least keep up, both, and you work around Christmas and all that. How
I
many
think
years? How many years has it been since you're divorced? Like, was it
six.
was it weird in the beginning?
It was terrible in the beginning. It
Yeah,
was
that's what I'm
really,
asking.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you didn't
It
just
was
flow into this like
no, no, no. This
breeze.
is years, and it was very difficult. Like, obviously the first one is the worst, and over time it gets a little bit better. But I think what's really important is that you're cognizant of their feelings, right? And you understand, and you want to be as giving back as you can. So, hey guys, I get it. You need to be there for your mom, and that's the important thing. Is just that respect thing. And it doesn't always happen in divorce. Obviously, there are certain situations where it's
Yeah.
never going to be. But for me, to the point that we can do it, that's what I try to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. And now I have grandchildren. So
Yeah.
my whole thing was trying to keep all the traditions going from my childhood that I used to do with my kids growing up with the grandchildren, but it's the now that I'm starting to, like, I always was on autopilot.
Right.
Okay? So I could do all these holidays and I could cook a feast and have 30 people over, no problem. No problem.
Wow.
But what would happen was when I was with the abusive person, it would be a disaster when people left.
Yep.
Usually, I mean, I remember many, many, many holidays where I would have to jump in my car, leave, and go stay at a shady ass, excuse my language, shady motel because I couldn't afford something decent, or
Yep.
sleep in my car in the Walmart parking lot. So, but it was still a beautiful Christmas
Right.
because I'd put
So
on the happy face,
I was gonna say
fake
the
it.
outer skin looked like everything was terrific, and behind the curtain it was just
A disaster.
a disaster.
Yeah. But everything was done. And I did the best I could. And
Yeah.
it actually feels good this year that I don't have to do that. You know?
Right. Yep.
Like, oh, I can breathe. You know? I just to wake up, I remember I sold the house. This will be this in March will be the second year that I'm out, okay?
Okay.
So almost 2 years ago. So I remember that last Christmas. And we started to go to like my son's house and stuff like that. I used to go
Yep.
to my grandparents' house. It's not like I had every holiday, but once my grandparents passed, I had every holiday. And then
Okay.
my grandchildren's mom took over, thank God. And I would just cook, the things I cooked, and we would, help as much as I could with her. But the last time I was in that kitchen, and I had a big, beautiful country kitchen, and I love to cook. And I remember the last year, 2 years ago, I was cooking up early, getting everything ready, and I said, I will never be in this kitchen alone, freezing my butt off because he wouldn't let me turn the heat on.
Yep.
And it was just me and him in this big old house. I will never do this again. And I never did it
Never.
again. That's it. Never.
Yep.
That's it. While he would sit smoking cigars, and oh my gosh, I don't know. And you have to keep him happy.
Gotta keep 'em happy. Yeah.
Gotta keep him happy, or there'd be a complete,
Yeah.
blowout somewhere. But up until him, Christmases are great,
And how about
But it's
Thanksgiving?
every holiday. Yeah, this
Okay.
Thanksgiving was good. We went to my godmother came down from New York
Yep.
and visited, and she slept over that night. We went to my son's, and it was great. I brought fruit. Like
There you go.
I've been sleeping,
Yep.
like I've been resting. I'm finally like out of that fight and flight mode.
Right.
And I don't feel like I have to push myself. I physically can't push myself any
Nope.
longer. I think I've done it for so long that now that I'm in this kind of resting spot and I'm able to eat food again. I ate so much food. I was like, oh my gosh, everything was so good because I didn't cook it.
Yeah, you
Holidays,
appreciate it,
I never ate. I never ate on
right?
the holidays
Because
because
you were
I
too
would,
busy preparing and serving and cleaning, and there was no time for you.
yeah. So,
So this was your year to sit back and let somebody else do the work, and you just enjoy the moment.
it was very nice. It was very
Yeah,
nice. And I was
good.
grateful. Yeah. So it was a quiet Thanksgiving, but as long as the kids are happy, like that's
Right?
how I feel, though.
Yeah, and the
You know,
grandkids all
the
enjoy.
grandbabies. Yeah.
Grandbabies all enjoy. Good.
Oh yeah. They look forward to everything. So,
So, are you done decorating now for Christmas? Is it just the tree,
no.
or going to be keep going?
No, I have some things. I have like maybe I don't know, some things that my son had used over the years, and I'm like, "Are you going to use those nutcrackers this year?" and yeah, they're like, "No, you can use them this year." You know, they're upstairs. I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" So like, I'm excited to see them,
That's
and
really great.
yeah, just a couple little things, maybe some more lights. I don't know. Who
You
knows?
touched on something earlier, Susie, about like your extended family, right? Like the people that brought you the tree and all that. And I wanted to talk to you about like having that supportive network right around you and how important it is, especially this year as you're going through this transition. I'm guessing that all these people are just kind of your support group, and they're kind of picking you up and helping you get through the holidays.
Yeah, my kids, when I moved to Connecticut from New York, I didn't know anyone. I had no, like, we had maybe one neighbor that was behind us. And so I always made sure my children had kids around. I
Yep.
opened the daycare when they were younger. Remember, I think you knew that. But
Yeah.
so whatever friends they made were always welcome in my home. So they became like my children.
Right.
And I have a whole, I mean, even kids that I watched from the daycare 35 years ago, I
Yep.
still am in contact with.
That's awesome. How great
So,
is that?
so yeah, so it's special. Like today I was at Walmart getting my lights and one of them pulled up. She's like, "Hey." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I miss you. We have to go for lunch, you know?" So they'll always be my family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I volunteered like when things started to get rocky. And my son's has the children, so they took over the Thanksgiving or whatever, and I would see them later. I started volunteering, so I would volunteer on Thanksgiving and then go see the kids after.
Yep.
So I did that for many years too. you
Like
know
like
bef-
a soup kitchen kind of thing.
it was more for a family. They had lost a
Okay.
child, and they started this. I mean, it was a big thing. They fed hundreds of families. And
Wow.
we'd work in the kitchen, and they did deliveries, and then people come in and eat, and it was just, yeah, I've done a lot of
That's
that too.
amazing.
So
That's
that was
amazing.
that always feels good. Definitely.
So now with the holidays, are you comfortable having conversations with people about the holidays, or is it still hard to talk about just looking forward of what your expectations of the holidays are going to be going forward?
See, it's more like once my grandparents passed away, that was the hard part for me. Mourning my grandmother, my
Right.
grandparents.
Yep.
Nothing was ever the same. So I tried to keep it the same as
Yep.
best I could. But now I don't know. I'm actually last year the person I was with that was abusive wasn't there, and it was calm.
Calm.
It's like there's no underline. Is he gonna bust through the door and start throwing presents? And he would do this. Oh, it was bad. I remember the last Christmas we had with him as a family. Okay, we always took pictures. I always took millions of pictures. That's just me for memories.
Yep.
And I remember like, where'd he go? And so I walked outside and he was out in his car, hunched over, and I literally thought like he had a heart attack or something. And I went to the window. He was on the phone. So he's like, ah, I start screaming at me, and I'm like, I thought something was wrong. We just want to take a picture. So I walked back in the house. So it was like a secret that he
Yep.
called his family or this. Everything was who the heck, whatever. I didn't
Yeah.
even care. But I went in the house, and within 5 minutes, he came flying through that door, throwing things around in front of the children. Like he's dangerous. It's
Yeah.
like a rabid wolf.
Wow.
Disgusting. I think back now, how
Yep.
dare he? How
Right.
dare he do that to my family, to my grand? Oh,
Oh,
I can't even go down that road right now.
you're in such a different place, aren't you?
Right?
You're
Yeah.
in such a different place.
After that, that that self defense class, I was
Yeah.
like, shoot,
So
no one will ever do that to me again.
let's just jump off topic for a moment and talk about the self-defense class because that looked, I saw your stuff on, I guess, Facebook you posted, and it
Yeah.
looked pretty intense.
Yeah, and if anyone wants to see it, definitely go on my Facebook, my Instagram. I have pictures, a couple videos up. Susie with a
Yeah.
Z podcast. I'm gonna get everything over to my YouTube channel, which is the same Susie with a Z podcast show. But it was 3 hours long, and I didn't think I was gonna make it through because I've had back surgeries and
Yeah.
everything else,
Yeah.
but they do it in a way that anyone can could do it. It's not like it was intense. Don't get me wrong, but to be quite honest, and this may sound a little morbid, I already went through all those scenarios in real life
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah.
and survived them. So
Yep.
it was actually like a good thing for me. It was
Yep.
a kind of a little bit healing. So I'll talk
It,
more about that like on another show one
yeah,
day.
we'll do
But
another show about that for
yeah,
sure. But was it
but
just a one-time class or do you keep doing it?
that was. I'm probably going to continue. I
Okay.
probably will.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome. All right, so we're going to shift gears one more time and talk about horseback
Sure.
riding.
Okay.
Have you
That's
done that
next on
yet?
the list. Well, this is all from my accountability, right?
Yeah.
I have. I was going to last week, but my week was so busy that
Yep.
I'm not on caffeine anymore, so I really need rest, and I'm gonna push it forward. It's cold. It's cold up here,
It's cool. Yeah.
so I will get to it. It's on the list. It's
Do
on
they
the
do it
list.
indoors in the winter or you just,
Th- this particular barn does not have an indoor arena,
okay.
but quite honestly, once you're up on the horse, I mean, your adrenaline, it feels so
Yeah,
good. You
exactly. Don't even think about it.
wear
Yeah.
layers. That's all. Stay
It
warm.
must be pretty nice to do it in the snow though, if it's snowing out or something
Oh
and you're
yeah,
on that horse and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. And I saw, was it your granddaughter did pretty good last weekend?
Oh yeah, she does shows. Yeah,
Oh, good for her.
yeah. I used to volunteer at a horse place up here in Connecticut, so
Yep.
she would come with me when she was like 2 years old. So yeah, she continued. She's phenomenal at it. She loves it. You can just tell, like, when a kid gets into a sport or an
Oh yeah.
activity, and
Yep.
it's just their thing. So
Consuming, right? It's
yeah,
consuming for them.
yeah, it's good. Definitely good.
And how about your the groups that you work with, Susie? How do those women manage the holidays?
Some are having a rough time. I'm actually meeting with two of them from the Women's Center tomorrow, and we're
Okay.
going out to coffee. It could be, see, I don't feel that isolation. I feel free right
Right.
now. But
Yep.
a lot of them are feeling isolated and sad and, depressed. Yeah, I'm more in the like, I'm free. I can,
Yeah.
I want to go sing Christmas carols. Like I'm in a totally different vibe this year.
Do you
Like
do anything with them for Christmas, like for holidays? Do you do like a holiday party? Do you do anything to just recognize the holidays? Or are they not in a place where they even want to deal with that?
some are, some aren't. Everyone's at a different stage. So everyone's at a different stage of healing. It's more of just supporting each other
Yeah,
for,
just
for
being there for
whatever
each other,
level
right?
we're at. Yeah.
Yeah,
Some people want to talk about it, some don't, some aren't ready, you know, to wherever they are. We just support each other.
all you can do, right? That's the most important thing is just being there for each other and
Yeah,
picking somebody up when they need that.
exactly. And I'll be doing more of that, on my shows too. Doing
Yep.
more. I think I have a few that I'll be interviewing soon, so I'm
Oh,
looking
that's
forward to
great.
that. So
Yeah.
we can hear it from them.
Yeah,
You
because
know.
sharing the stories, it's important for you and it's important for them to just to
Yes.
get that out and that's part of that healing process, I guess, is just to be able to talk about it.
Yeah. To know you're not alone.
Yeah.
You know. And last year was more of my mourning. I think I went through the whole mourning.
Yep.
I was so distraught last year. I
Right.
mean,
But
it was
this
September. Yeah, 3 months after. So last year to this year, night and day.
night and day, right? Yeah.
If I can do this, anyone can do this. I'm serious.
No,
Like, no joke. I,
but people need to see you. People need to hear that and know that it's not me telling them because I haven't been through it. It's you telling them because you've been through it and
yeah.
you've come out the other side and flourishing. I mean, every day I see you, it's better than the day before.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I had 3 days this week where I laid in bed. I
Yep.
allowed myself to rest.
You have to.
I sleep now because I'm not on like high alert, which
Yep.
is a big, and not on caffeine because I didn't realize that was keeping me up too.
Yep.
It's amazing to sleep when you haven't slept in so long.
Yeah.
So that's a big help too.
Is it consistent sleep? Do things wake you
Yes.
up in the middle of the night, or do you really get consistent sleep?
I've been sleeping like through the night, and if I wake up to use the bathroom or something, I can go back to sleep. It's a miracle. I didn't
How
sleep
cool is
in
that?
25 years. I'm not joking.
So
Yeah.
that's a great thing. So all right, so you're doing all this sleeping now. How does that impact your day? Like, do you have to plan differently, knowing, hey, instead of being up at I don't know 5 o'clock in the morning exhausted, now you're getting up at 9 o'clock in the morning and you're refreshed? How does it impact your day?
Well, I fall asleep early. I always have. But I'm able to stay up later now because I used to be just drained, right,
Yeah.
from whatever happened in the day. I today was like my due day. I got everything done.
Yep.
And the 3 days before, I wasn't feeling well. I had a really bad sore throat, so I was kind of under the weather.
Yep.
And I allowed myself to rest. I never used to do that. So it really doesn't affect my day. It's just I'm grateful that I'm able to do what I'm able to do when I'm able to do it.
Yeah. So you've
Period.
got your laundry day and you've got your grocery shopping day and you've got your women's
Work,
group day.
yeah. Well, I actually bought stuff to make chili. Everyone keeps posting these great photos of chili, and I'm like, I make the best turkey chili, and I could put as much hot, jalapenos
Whatever
in
you
that as
want.
I want now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think I might tackle that tomorrow. So that's my goal for tomorrow.
Does the as it's getting colder out, does that impact your day?
Oh, absolutely. And it gets dark so early, I can't stand it.
Right? Yeah. That's the terrible part, right? 4:30, whatever, it's dark already. It's just
How do you
does
deal
that
with
play
it?
does that play with your mind at all?
It makes me tired.
Yeah, it
Like
makes me
you
crazy.
too,
Right?
right?
Yeah, but it's like 4 o'clock and it's dark and I'm thinking, oh my God, what time is it? Like, and I still have 2 hours worth of work left. I'm going, my God, this is horrible.
Yeah.
Like, you ready? Mentally, I'm like tired at 4 o'clock now.
Yeah. It's like I'm
And
not
so
nocturnal. We're not nocturnal. The
exactly.
sun goes in, that's it. It's like,
But
oh, is it bedtime?
then there's the positive side about it, right? So tonight they're lighting the Christmas tree in New York, right? And so everything kind of kicks in now, and I enjoy this time of year. Is even though it's
Yeah.
dark, every weekend there's like something going on, and it's just for me, even even though I don't practice anything, from a religious perspective, the holidays are just for me. It's just a fun time. So I look forward
Yeah.
to it. But 4 o'clock is just it's brutal And here it got cold these past couple days. It's been like
Freezing.
snowed yesterday. It's like, oh my God, we're in it.
And we just begun.
We just,
Just hold on. How many more months do we have of this? It doesn't get warm now until June. I kid you not. You know this. And you're down by the water.
yeah.
So it's colder.
Oh,
Yeah.
you?
I'm up in
Oh,
the
yeah.
mountains.
Oh, you're in the. Oh, yeah. It's.
Well, it's
We
chilly
get
here
rain,
too.
you get snow. It's crazy stuff, and
Yeah.
we're in the same state, but it's crazy stuff.
Crazy.
I was going to ask you one more thing before we kind of wrap things up, and I'll be crazy if I can't. All right, so for the holidays, as things, do you have like, do you set certain goals that you want to achieve during this time of year?
Not usually.
No. So
No.
there's nothing that like, oh, I like, well, I guess you did, right? You put up a tree. That's kind of a goal,
Well,
right?
when the kids were younger,
Yeah.
see, I'm in this whole new space.
Right.
I don't own a home anymore. I'm in a studio apartment. I just want to see the kids,
Yep.
bring them their gifts, have fun,
Right.
make a gingerbread house. So it's yeah, it's not like, depressing or goals. Do I have any goals? I have the goal. I got the Christmas tree up.
That's what I'm saying. You got the
That's
Christmas
it.
tree up, right? That's a huge
Thanks to
goal, right?
Dustin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have went to get it, or I would have waited till the last minute. I don't know. I don't know. So I'm just grateful he brought it over, because then I was like, oh, I gotta decorate it, right? Someone brought me a tree.
Are you
So
comfortable? Are you comfortable in your studio apartment?
I feel very, very, very safe here. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. I have people who live in the house that I'm in, and oh my gosh, it's just so nice to walk outside and it's like, good morning. And I'm like, good morning.
Good morning.
Someone actually says good
Good
morning.
morning.
They're happy to see me. I don't have anyone running up the stairs and grabbing my baseball bat, So, oh, it's wonderful. So, and it's very bright and
Yeah, it looks very bright in there.
clean and fresh.
All right. So
So,
one last question. I keep saying I have one last question.
okay.
Any intentions of getting a pet?
I was thinking about getting a kitten, but I think it's like I'd have to pay more money per month or something.
Oh,
The
yeah.
landlord, like
Sometimes
for the cat.
landlords charge you for a pet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking I can't just get one. I have to get two. And then who's gonna And then I don't know. It kind of stressed me out a little bit. I'm not ready, because
Okay.
then if I'm down in New York, who's gonna take? Then I have to bother somebody. I don't want to bother anybody to help me take care of it right now. But eventually, yeah. I mean, I love animals,
Yeah.
so I would love to.
Did you have them when you were younger?
We had horses and cats, and I grew up with two monkeys,
Really? Okay, we
woolly
gotta
and
do a monkey
useless.
story.
Yeah, I got monkey stories. Yeah, my
Wow.
godmother had two monkeys, and horses and dogs, cats. What else did we have? I think that's about it. Yeah. So the
Yeah,
usual.
I think animals can be very therapeutic too.
Mm-hmm.
Having a cat or a dog, and we had one for 14 years, and I said, you know what? The only reason I won't get a dog now is that we like to get away, just even if it's for a week. And then to your point, who's going to take care of the dog? What are you going to do with the dog? And so we're kind of thinking we're not going to get a dog, but I do miss
Right.
having
Yeah.
that companion in the house during the day.
Yeah, me too. I had
Well,
I had one dog that he was like my child. He was a Rottweiler. I named him Dante, or one of us named him Dante. Maybe the kids, I don't know. But he was my best friend. My best friend. Oh my gosh! And then when he passed, I couldn't. I couldn't go through that heartache again.
yep.
So
People,
we'll see.
yeah, when you put your animal down, oh my God, we were a mess for like a week after we put our dog down, because it is like a member of the family. When you have to make that decision. It's brutal.
Yeah, he passed in his sleep, and I was almost grateful that he did pass in his sleep, because
Yep.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I'm just grateful that went like that. But
So they get bad raps, don't they, Rottweilers?
oh, they're the sweetest. Pit bulls, Rottweilers. These are the ones I know. I don't know about all of them, but
Yeah.
the ones I know personally, like family members that have them, and my dog that I had, were wonderful. So
They get such terrible raps, and everyone who that I know that has them, they're like the best.
depends who raises them, right, and
Depends how
how
they're
they're
raised.
raised.
Like, and
You
yeah,
know.
yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, thank you. This
So
was awesome, Susie.
yeah. And again, I'm sharing more of my holiday stuff on Susie
Yeah,
with a Z podcast, YouTube, Instagram, and yeah, and we'll get together again soon.
Susie with a Z podcast
Podcast show, actually.
podcast show.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll have to put that up. We'll put that up at the end. So
Thank
thank you,
you.
everyone. Unlocktheday.com if you want to check out my stuff. So we have some guides on there to get through the holidays. But Susie, you are continue to be our inspiration. So thank you for being here. Really
Thank you
appreciate it.
so much for having me. It was
We'll talk
fun.
soon.
Yeah, we'll
Thanks.
talk soon. Bye
Okay.
bye.
Bye.